A guy named Guy, not to be confused with the French military leader Guy de Lusignan, arrived in the Holy Land between 1173 and 1180 to join his older brother Aimery, who had established himself at court after having come to the Kingdom of Jerusalem as a young man around 1165. Now, it's unclear exactly why Guy came when he did, but it seems likely he was summoned by his brother, who was serving as constable, a kind of military governor of Jerusalem, and needed help holding down the fort. Upon his arrival, Guy was warmly received and quickly made a name for himself as a brave and noble warrior, but his real talent was for diplomacy. When King Baldwin IV set out on a crusade to conquer Egypt in 1174, he left the kingdom in the hands of his sister Sibylla, who was acting as regent for their underage brother. King Baldwin V. Baldwin IV trusted Guy, the new kid, on the rewarded Guy's good service by marrying him to his daughter Sibylla in 1180. Now, this wasn't just any marriage. It was a carefully orchestrated political move designed to prevent Sibylla from marrying a rival noble and seizing power for herself. You see, Sibylla had been in line to become queen in her own right, but she was also considered too ambitious and too independent for the male members of her family, who were worried that she would use her power to try and make her husband king instead of their brother. By marrying her to Guy, a nobody, literally, they figured they could control her and keep power in the family. But they hadn't bargained for how quickly Guy would rise to power. He may have been a nobody when he first arrived in Jerusalem, but within 5 years of marrying Sibylla, he was the most powerful man in the kingdom. That's because in 1183, Baldwin V, the actual king, died, and Sibylla's son Baldwin VI, who was only 12 years old, took the throne with Guy as his regent. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. In 1182, while still married to Sibylla, Guy took part in a military campaign against the Ayyubids in the Levant. The Ayyubids were a Kurdish dynasty that had seized large parts of the Middle East, including the city of Ascalon, which was a vassal of Jerusalem. But Guy's real goal in this war was not to conquer new territory, but to secure his position in Jerusalem by getting his hands on some sweet loot. In particular, he wanted the city of Jaffa, which had recently fallen into Ayyubid hands. And to get it back, he made a deal with the Ayyubid ruler, Saladin, agreeing to marry his sister Lissa in exchange for the city. Guy then used Jaffa as a base to launch attacks against other Ayyubid-held cities, further cementing his reputation as a great warrior. But his greatest victory was yet to come.